My name is Dr. Michael Okoli, and for 3 weeks I slept outside my own hospital, not as the owner, not as a surgeon, but as a homeless man no one wanted to look at. Let me explain. In the heart of Port Harcourt stands Grace Memorial Hospital. 12 stories of white marble, glass walls, and world-class medicine. Presidents have walked those halls. Governors trust us with their lives. I built it. I built it for my wife, Grace. 3 years ago, I lost her to an illness all my skill and all my money could not cure. When she died, something in me hardened. I kept building, kept expanding, kept succeeding, but inside, I was empty. I tried to love again. Every time, I saw the same hunger in people's eyes. Not for me, for my wealth. One woman forged pregnancy documents, another leaked lies to blogs for attention. One night, staring at Grace's photo, I whispered, "Are there any real hearts left?" That was the night I decided to disappear. The next morning, I called my most trusted friend, Emeka, my hospital administrator and childhood friend. "Emeka, I need your help with something unusual." He raised an eyebrow over the phone. "I'm listening. I'm going to disappear for a while. I want to live as a homeless man outside the hospital. I'll sleep on the street, beg for food, and watch everything." There was silence. "Michael, are you serious?" "Completely." "But why?" "Because I need to see the truth. I need to know if good people still exist. And I need to find them where they don't expect anything from me." Emeka sighed. "This is extreme, but I know you. Once you decide, nothing stops you. What do you need from me?" "Protect my identity, don't tell anyone, and watch over things while I'm gone." 2 days later, I transformed myself. I cut my hair unevenly, rubbed dirt into my skin, wore torn trousers and worn-out slippers. I looked in the mirror. The billionaire surgeon was gone. Now I was just Uncle Mike. I walked out of my penthouse and sat beneath a neem tree at the gates of Grace Memorial Hospital. The first day, more than 200 people passed me. No one saw me. Some stepped around me like trash. Others covered their noses. Security warned me not to disturb customers. By nightfall, I was starving. I asked a food vendor for leftovers. She looked at me like I was a disease. "Go away, dirty man." That night, I slept on cardboard, using a raffia bag as my pillow. And I watched. For a week, I saw things that broke my heart. Nurses who were angels to VIP patients but cold to the poor. Doctors who rushed to wealthy families and left others waiting. Guards who bowed to expensive cars but pushed away anyone who looked needy. My dream was becoming a business. I almost ended the experiment. Then, on the 7th morning, she stopped. She wore a faded but spotless nurse uniform. She looked exhausted from a night shift, but when she passed me, she slowed down. She really looked at me. "Good morning, sir." Sir. No one had called me that in days. She took out her own breakfast, bread and water. "Please, take this. You look hungry." I asked if she was sure. She smiled. "I can get something later." She walked away before I could respond. Her name tag read, Nurse Blessing Okeke. Every morning after that, she stopped. Sometimes food, sometimes water, sometimes just conversation. She lived in a single rented room, walked to work to save money, sent most of her salary back to her parents in Anambra, and yet she gave. One afternoon, a pregnant woman collapsed at the gate. She was poor, barefoot, exhausted. Security blocked her. No registration, no money. Blessing's voice cut through the crowd. "She's dying! Rules are rules. Then break them." She carried that woman inside herself and paid the registration from her own salary. Later, I asked her why. She looked at me like the answer was obvious. Because life is more important than money, and because someone once helped me when I had nothing. She told me about 5 years ago, when she couldn't afford her licensing exams. She had begged the hospital for any job. The administrator made a call. An anonymous sponsor paid everything. She never knew who, but she prayed for that person every day. My heart began to pound. I sat there in the dirt, stunned. I was the one. I had approved that sponsorship in less than 60 seconds. I had forgotten. She never did. And now she was feeding me, not knowing I was the same man. The circle was complete. But there was a snake in my garden. Dr. Chidi Nwosu. Brilliant surgeon. Expensive watches. Expensive ego. He wanted blessing, not for love, for conquest. When she rejected him, he turned cruel. I watched him corner her in the parking lot. "I can change your life," he said. "Cars, trips, money. I don't need those things, sir. You'll regret this. I'll regret losing my self-respect more." The next day, he pushed me when I warned him to leave her alone. "This is my hospital," he sneered. I looked at him calmly. "This is not your hospital." He laughed. He had no idea. That night, I called Emeka. "Pay her rent for 1 year, anonymously." "Done. Promote her to head nurse of emergency, effective immediately." Emeka paused. "You found her." "Yes." But promotion brought poison. Chidi spread rumors. She slept her way up. He confronted her in the hallway. "How much did you charge the board?" The hospital went silent. That was the moment I stood up. "That's enough." He called security. "Throw this beggar out." Before they could move, Emeka entered with the entire board, and he bowed. "Welcome back, sir." The hallway froze. I removed my cap. "My name is Dr. Michael Okoli, and for 3 weeks I have been living outside this hospital to see how we treat those who have nothing." Faces drained of color. I turned to Chidi. "You pushed me. You harassed her. You insulted patients." He fell to his knees. "Sir, please. You cannot be a doctor if you have forgotten how to be human." "Dr. Chidi Nwosu is terminated, effective immediately." Security escorted him out. No one spoke. Then I turned to Blessing. She was trembling. 5 years ago, I approved your exams." Her eyes widened. "And for 3 weeks, you have fed the man who paid for them." Tears streamed down her face. "You had no idea who I was. You expected nothing. And yet, you gave me dignity." I handed her a letter. "Chief Nursing Officer, member of the board. This hospital needs your heart at its highest level." The staff applauded. But what moved me most was not the applause. It was the way she looked at me, not as a billionaire, not as a boss, but as a human being. Today, Grace Memorial is different. No patient is turned away for lack of money. A free clinic runs every week. Compassion training is mandatory. And every Friday evening, I sit under that same neem tree with Blessing. We talk. We laugh. We remember. I built the hospital for Grace, but Blessing taught me how to live in it. I went looking for proof that good people still exist. I found it in the one person who treated a beggar like a man. And I learned something no amount of wealth had ever taught me. The greatest power is not ownership, it is character. And the greatest wealth is not what you control. It is who you become when you think nobody is watching. And so, the man who owned the hospital learned that the greatest treasure was never hidden in marble walls or locked behind golden doors. It was hidden in the human heart. They say, that even today, if you walk past that neem tree at sunset, you might remember this story, and you might wonder if someone is watching how you treat the smallest among you. Because in this world, the seeds you plant in secret are the harvest you reap in the open. So, before you go, I want you to remember something. The world doesn't change because of money. It changes because of people who choose to be kind, even when it costs them something. If you want more stories like this, subscribe, and let's build a community where character still matters. If this tale warmed your heart, share it with someone who still believes in goodness, and return again for another story carried on the wind.